Have you ever felt like you're just financially stuck? Like you're running on a hamster wheel, working your butt off, but getting absolutely nowhere? Well, today we're going to talk about why that feeling has nothing to do with how hard you work or how smart you are. It's about an invisible prison we build for ourselves, a belief bubble. And more importantly, we're going to talk about how to pop it. And look, I get it. I really do. When you hear some financial guru online say something that feels completely disconnected from your world, the skepticism is real. Someone tells you to just invest $300 and you're thinking, are you kidding me? That's my grocery money. That's my gas for the month. That frustration isn't just valid. It's the whole reason we're having this conversation. And if that sounds familiar, I want you to hear this loud and clear. It is not a personal failure. You're not lazy. You're not dumb. It's a symptom of something much bigger, an unseen boundary that is actively dictating what you even think is possible for yourself. And we're going to call this the belief bubble. Think of it as the invisible fence around your life. It's made up of all these unspoken rules in your head about what you deserve, what you can earn, and what you can achieve. And it's this bubble that dictates your entire financial reality. So how in the world do you break out of it? Well, it doesn't happen by just kind of wanting it. Popping this bubble requires something powerful. It requires a non-negotiable reason, what we can call a tipping point. For the creator of this whole framework, that moment came when she saw her dad. Now, her dad was always her hero, this invincible figure. But one day, she looked at him, and for the first time, he just looked frail. And it was like a punch to the gut. The thought hit her like a ton of bricks. If I don't get my money right, I will be completely powerless to help my parents when they really need me. And that is the tipping point. It's that exact moment when the pain of your current situation, the anxiety, the stress, the fear, becomes so much worse than the pain it's going to take to change. All of a sudden, learning new things, facing your budget, that all seems way easier than staying stuck. So let me ask you, what's the cost of doing nothing? Let's really picture it. 5 years from now, you got the same debt, you're just older, and you feel even worse about it. 10 years from now, those dreams you have, they're still just dreams, and you've lost a decade. And 20 years from now, your parents need you, and you can't help. That's the reality we're trying to change. And this really lays out the two paths, right? It's a choice. On one side, you have the world of scarcity, constant stress, feeling trapped, feeling helpless. But on the other side, there's abundance. There's peace of mind, the freedom to do work you love, and the absolute power to provide for the people you care about. Finding your why is about choosing this path consciously. Okay, so once you have that why, that fire in your belly, the next step is a big one. We have to completely redefine how we think about money itself. We've got to stop treating it like this big, scary, emotional monster and start seeing it for what it actually is. You see, we load money up with so much baggage. We think it's evil, or it's good, or it's the source of all our stress, or it's something you have to deserve. But here's the big secret. Money doesn't care. It's totally neutral. It's not a moral report card. It's just a tool. And most importantly, it's a game with a very specific set of rules. And you know what? That should be incredibly empowering because it means that building wealth has absolutely nothing to do with your IQ, where you came from, or whether you're a good person. I guarantee you there are people with half your brains making 10 times what you do. Why? Because they just took the time to learn the rules of the game. So if it's a game, what's the cheat code? What's the master rule that gets you off that hamster wheel of trading your time for money? One word: leverage. I mean, think about it for a second. We all get the same 24 hours in a day, right? You, me, Elon Musk, all of us. So if someone is making 1,000 times more than you, they are not working 1,000 times harder. They can't be. It's physically impossible. So what are they doing that's so different? They're using leverage. Leverage is the art of getting multiplied returns on your time and your effort. So instead of spending 1 hour to earn $20, you spend that same hour writing one email that sells a product to 1,000 people. That's leverage. It's about making your effort echo and grow long after you've stopped working. All right, so we know we need to change our mindset, and we know leverage is the goal. But how do we actually do it? How do we reprogram our brains? Well, let's get into the practical steps. Or, as the original creator puts it, it's time to brainwash yourself for wealth. It boils down to 3 simple things you can do every single day.
First, curate your inputs. Ditch the doom scrolling and the negative news. Instead, fill that time with audiobooks from people who've already done what you want to do. Train your brain to see solutions, not just problems. Second, audit your circle. We'll get more into this, but who are you spending your time with? And third, build a vision board. And no, this is not just arts and crafts. It's about giving your brain a physical, tangible picture of your future so it starts to believe that reality is not just possible, but inevitable. Now let's go back to that social circle thing, because it's huge. Listen to the conversations around you. Are they all scarcity talk? Ugh, groceries are so expensive. I'll never be able to afford a house. Or are you around people who talk about abundance? People who, when you say you want to make $1 million a year, they look at you and say, cool, but you know you can make $1 million a month, right? Those conversations literally expand or shrink your belief bubble. You know, there's that classic old story about a guy who was digging for gold. He dug and he dug, found nothing, got frustrated, and just quit. He sold his equipment to the next guy who came along. That next guy picked up right where the first one left off and struck a massive gold vein just 3 feet deeper. The only difference between those two men? Belief. The second guy just believed the gold was there. A modern-day version of quitting 3 feet from gold is something called shiny object syndrome. You know what I mean? You jump from one side hustle to the next, one idea to the next. The problem isn't the ideas themselves. The problem is a deep-down core belief that nothing is actually going to work for you. So you quit before you ever have a chance to strike gold. And this all leads to what might be the single most powerful mind hack of all time. We look at super successful, wealthy people, and we think they're special, that they were somehow chosen. But the absolute truth is, there are no chosen ones. That is the secret. They weren't picked. They didn't win a lottery. They are the chosen ones because they chose themselves. They decided they were worthy. They decided they were going to learn the rules of the game, and they decided they weren't going to stop digging 3 feet from gold. Which brings us to our final idea, and it's a big one. It's time to completely reframe your entire relationship with the very idea of abundance. I want you to picture this. There is a massive golden river of abundance, of wealth, constantly flowing around the world. Trillions of dollars changing hands every single day. The problem has never been a shortage of money. The problem is a shortage of people who believe they're allowed to step into that river. Wealth isn't something you have to earn or deserve. It is your natural birthright. You see, for most of your life, this belief bubble has been completely invisible. You didn't even know it was there. But now, it's not. You see it. You can feel its edges. You know what's holding you back. So the only question left is, now that you can see the prison walls, what are you going to do to break out?